Hello to the show. Sorry we're a touch late, but only 8 minutes late. That's better than 10. We are here to talk some Packers, but also to talk about Housewives of Orange County or whatever that one guy thought. What did that one guy say? Some comment about as much as I'd like to watch the Housewives of whatever it was. I didn't get that reference, but what do I know? I don't know. I don't watch that stuff. I am drinking Black is Beautiful tonight with my friends at Delta Beer Lab. I had a chance to talk with them today and wanted to give them a plug. Good place, Delta Beer Lab here in Madison. So if you ever visit, check out the lab, Delta Beer Lab, delta.beer. Show tonight, kind of sponsored by them, sort of. All right. How you doing, bro?
I'm tired as crap.
Are you worried about the Packers centers?
No.
Okay, good. Me neither, except it's kind of interesting. Hey, let's start at the top of the show. We'll get right into Packer stuff. And we have a little thing to start with, and that's some questions. Dang. Matt LaFleur got a little grilling today about the centers, if you didn't know about that. Let's take a listen real quick. Courtesy of the Green Bay Packers, what Matt LaFleur maybe kind of had to say. Let's see what he said. Matt LaFleur.
Matt, what are you looking for out of a starting center since that spot seems to be up in the air right now?
Just a level of play that is consistent and up to a standard that we have for that position. Certainly, I think, that's a key part. I mean, they're the guy talking to the other five, getting everybody on the same page. And, it's Josh has done a really good job. But, we need more consistency and got complete confidence that he's fully capable of doing that, and we've seen that from him. But it's just like every other position that we have.
Okay, well.
How can you need to see consistency, yet you said we're fully believe he can do it because we've seen it from him? Well, if you've seen it from him, then why are you worried about it?
Well, I will say this. He had a lot more conviction and flow in the first part of the stuff he was saying when he was talking about how we need to see more consistency out of the position. And
well, there's another question after that, and they said, what are the things you're looking for?
I know that he's totally sidestepped.
And then he just said nothing.
He just was like, well, it's tough when you're going against guys like Kenny Clark and da-da-da.
No, it's not that tough.
Yeah, burp.
Luke Musgrave handled Kenny Clark in a one-on-one drill the other day, apparently.
Basically, as that press conference went on, I wanted to cut it before we got in too much trouble and, YouTube or the Green Bay Packers tried to sue us. Anyway, credit Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers.
For what? We get like 3 views. What are they going to frickin' sue us for?
I'm just saying. Anyway, point is...
Screw that. We're not making any money off of this.
Matt LaFleur had said he was complaining and he kind of worked his way back around and was talking about how you can't have guys just coming up the A gap and you can't have, getting to your quarterback right away and killing your play while you're trying to... And this is at practice, by the way. This stuff is happening. So... Yeah, I mean, if Josh Myers is the choice, then it's a problem, which is why ultimately I think we're going to see what we're going to see, which is Zach Tom get the center spot, Yash handle right tackle. However, if David Bakhtiari gets
drafted Creed Humphreys, and he would have been fine.
If David Bakhtiari gets hurt again, then we're shuffling back in, and Myers is probably in at center, and then we're in trouble again. So... what does all that mean to anybody else? Questions about center, it's clearly a problem enough that they are looking for another answer or at least exploring other answers. And, Josh Myers was a second-round pick. Supposed to be the center of the future, right? I mean, that was the pick.
Yeah, and the guy drafted right after him is a Pro Bowl center and considered probably the best center in the league.
Yeah, he's a lefty, though. I kind of throw guys off, maybe,
I don't give a crap. We all thought it was going to be that guy.
Well, we had an
and
awesome
then
center,
good old
by the way.
Goody threw a quick one on you and said, "Oh, Josh Myers," and we're like, "What? Who the hell is this guy?"
Yeah, I know that was a surprising pick to us for sure that night, but most other people. Now, this is not uncommon for the Packers, right? That they have undervalued good centers that they've had and think they're just going to plug a new one in or find a new one. They've done this a bunch of times over the years. It's an undervalued position in the league, but definitely undervalued by the Packers brass.
Not on the best teams. Both teams that made it to the Super Bowl have the considered the best two centers in the NFL.
It's super important. Matt LaFleur talked about it in this press conference too. The guy's got to make all the calls. He's got to know all this stuff. You got to be smart. You got to know how to handle everything that's going on. You got to communicate. You got to be able to snap and then block. And you're like an extension of the quarterback there, right? Like you are the quarterback of the offensive line. So it's a super important position for anybody that doesn't get it. And it's disappointing that, I don't know. It's disappointing once again that sometimes the Packers always say we want to get our best 5 out there. We're trying to get our best 5 out there. I don't think Josh Myers was in the best 5 this whole time, yet he's been out there because he was a high pick. So there's definitely some of that goes on, like Rasul Douglas was talking about. I know how the league works. You got a high pick, got a guy that makes money. That guy gets a spot. And Matt LaFleur's like, no, we don't do it that way. Well, in some cases you do, or at least for a while until it's so bad, then you're like, we're done.
In all cases, they do. What happened last year? Did Rasul start at outside corner? Or did the first-round picks both start?
Yeah.
So they screwed up there, too. Rasul's 1,000 times better than stupid Eric Stokes. He's an idiot. The only reason why Rasul got to play and not Kevin King was because Kevin King was coming off the game where everybody blamed him for playing like dog crap against the Buccaneers in the playoff NFC Championship game. And he was a Ted Thompson draft pick, not a Goody draft pick. That's why you were able to, LaFleur said that. And that's why when he said it, we don't worry about who makes the most money here. We worry about the best player. And it's not true. It's true in that one case only because Kevin King was really bad, was not drafted by Goody, and was on his last legs. He wasn't even on his rookie deal. He was on like a 1-year deal of like nothing. Like who cares? Like he was making way too much money. They should never sign him back. And now where is he? Oh yeah, nowhere. Working at McDonald's. So, I mean, what good is that? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a little concerning. But I think they'll get it figured out. The key to that whole thing holding itself together is David Bakhtiari staying healthy and playing a bunch of games.
Well, guess who didn't practice again today after an entire day off?
They're managing him.
That's 2 days in because they didn't have practice yesterday. And then today he did not practice. Period. Nothing at all. So what's going on? Why is he on the team? I don't know. Also,
he makes a lot of money.
Andy Herman brought it up today, and it's the same thing I've been thinking about. What is the future of Josh Nijman on the Green Bay Packers? If there is no future for Josh, why is he on the team?
Because they need him. They clearly need him.
Why do they need? No, they don't.
They need him for this season because the other guys that they're looking at are unproven and raw, probably still. And Jordan Love is the first-time starting quarterback, first-year starter. They don't want to throw him behind guys who don't know what the hell they're doing or are raw. And like if Bakhtiari gets hurt, then they really need him. So they need him for this year. After this year, they're done with him. They're like, see you later, man. Sorry.
I can give you three reasons why they don't need him.
Okay, what are your reasons?
Caleb Jones, Luke Tenuta, Rasheed Walker. Those are the 3 reasons you don't need him.
Well, maybe.
I don't think Yash is that much better. I know you love Yash. You had him in your top 10 offensive linemen going into the season last year. Now, you only watched 10 offensive linemen, so it's kind of hard to make a top 10 when you only watch 10. Anyways, he had a bad year, and he's had bad games. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm saying he's 27 years old, and I know people are saying, like, they say that's young. Okay, well, yeah, but what kind of money are you going to have to shell out to him next year? Is the amount of money you have to pay for this guy equal to the amount of money over another guy that's on the team already and is going to be way, way cheaper? Like, are you getting, if you have to pay him 10 times the amount you have to pay Luke Tenuta / Rasheed Walker / Caleb Jones, does he give you 10 times the play? No. So you trade him now. Period. Or Bakhtiari, one or the other. But then you look and you say, which guy are we looking for in the future? Which guy is the guy we're going to hang on to? And if it's neither, then trade them both. This is not a season of, like, I think they're going to be a good team for the most part. But the upside or the the difference between Yash and all those other three guys is, I don't think it's that great. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know, man. I'm just saying, if you could trade, if somebody wants to give you what would you think would be more valuable? You think you get more for Yash or more for David Bakhtiari?
Probably Bakhtiari if it was the desperate
Really?
team. If it was
a guy who
team,
who barely plays,
a team that thinks they're close and thinks they're going to get his best. Yeah.
Yeah, but what about a team who
Like
is on the rise and has a good, halfway decent quarterback, but has crappy tackles?
Yeah, then I'd go for Yash for sure, because there's more years left, and there's more potential that he could start for you for who knows. I mean, and it wouldn't be as big of a contract even if you signed him to an extension. It wouldn't be nearly the same type of contract.
I'm just saying there are a few positions on the Packers at this point that have more depth than offensive tackle. There are very few. Like, I don't think there's any that have more depth than offensive tackle, other than defensive outside linebacker at this point.
I mean, if they really believe that those other guys can play, then you're right. Like, I don't know. I mean, moving one of those guys makes sense.
I mean, because to pay a left tackle, that's a big chunk of dough.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a big chunk of dough. So you better guarantee that you're getting what you're paying for. And it's obvious that for the last 3 years, we have not gotten what we paid for David Bakhtiari. At all.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So,
I mean,
I don't know. That's all I'm saying. And I like Yash, but, I mean, it's just common sense.
He's in
a good business.
He's in a weird spot. He's too old to be kind of like, oh, well, he's the future here. So if he's not already kind of at the starter level that you want, where upper echelon starter that you're planning on paying, then, the Packers did the plan, right? They picked him up. They had his rights for super cheap. They milked that as long as they could. And this is the last year of it. So it's really a decision. Do they feel like they have enough of tackle that they don't need to squeeze that last dropout? Or are they really not sold on those other guys that they talk highly about? And the decision will tell you. What they do will tell you if they really are sold on those other guys, Tenuta, Walker, and what's his name? I forget him. Caleb Jones. If they really like those guys, then you won't see Yash or they'll move Bakhtiari. But if they're not sold on him, they'll be like, let's squeeze the last drop out of Yash for this year, and then we'll move on to those other guys.
Well, at this point, you're talking about a guy who can't even start. I mean, he's in a competition to start. Is that the guy that you're willing to shell out the big dough to? I just don't see it. I mean, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's the same thing as, guess what? Ladarius Hamilton got cut yesterday. He's gone. Jonathan Garvin, gone. Why? Because there is no path to them getting to the field, and they're kind of like in the same age range as Yash Nyman. They're fourth year guys. Now, Yash is a fifth-year guy, but they're guys who are in the point of their career where you know what they are. Like, they're not going to get any better, right? Like, you've had him on the team for years. Like, you know what he is. And if you're not willing to, if he can't win a starting job now, like coming in, like, he's the starter, and he's not, Yash is not. Zach Tom got the start the last couple of days, and the only reason why he didn't start at right tackle the other day was because he started at center. Zach Tom. And that's why Yash got the start at right tackle. And the reason why, Yash got the start at left tackle today was because Bakhtiari didn't practice. And that's the whole thing. The whole problem is the Bakhtiari problem. if you didn't have Bakhtiari, well, okay, then you got Yash, and even then, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a jerk because I know you like Yash a lot, and I think Yash is cool. He's a good guy, but I've seen him make some mistakes. I've seen him kind of get slow on his blocks. I've seen him miss run blocks in the running game, and I've seen him get just destroyed and pass blocking downs. And nobody's perfect. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can't do it always all the time, but he had a rough game last year. I can't remember which game it was, and they took him out and put Zach Tom in there and just rode Zach Tom till the end.
Yeah,
remember?
It's interesting. It's interesting how short some guys' leash is and how other guys don't. They have really long leash, but
I know
with seemingly no more that they've proven, but other than the fact that they were a draft pick or whatever.
So,
but he's,
I don't know.
The one thing I'll say about him is, yeah, he's a little too timid. He's not aggressive enough because he has. I mean, we saw him in person.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. He's like one of the most fit, athletic, beastly looking offensive linemen that you would see. Like for a tackle, he is physically everything you would look for. He's amazing. But maybe he's just too passive, or maybe that's the one thing I'd love to see, or maybe is part of the passiveness he didn't know what the hell was going to happen because is this a running play? Is this going to stay a running play? Is this a passing play? How did they train them all? I don't know. I certainly would have loved James Campen to work with him, but we didn't get no James Campen working with him, so we got what we got. Whatever. I'm just saying center is a concern. Matt LaFleur got grilled on it a little bit today, and he wasn't very consistent with his answers. And, if Zach Tom solidifies that, then hopefully the tackle situation works out. But I don't know.
I got to be honest. When it comes to offensive line, like what I'm seeing at this point, I'm seeing Sean Ryan going to make the team because it looks like he's slimmed down. It looks like he's done a much better job in all aspects of, he's not sluggish. And like before, like we watched him at practice. He was just last summer and he was just slow and weird. He didn't look good at all.
Yeah.
And from all accounts, he looks much better this year. Like he got in shape and stopped screwing around. Now, should he have been a third-round pick? I don't know.
Right.
But he was a third-round pick, so I think he's going to make the team. I think Royce Newman also should make the team.
What?
He can play guard or tackle in a pinch.
Oh.
Listen, it's worth having. He's got a lot of experience.
Wait a minute. He can line up at guard or tackle, or he can play guard or tackle.
Well, either way, he knows what he's sort of doing out there. He's not god awful. He has quick feet, but he gets blown up. So I don't know what to say. Like how many times you watch him play guard and he had such quick feet, he stepped on Aaron Rodgers' feet when he was under center because he got out of the stance so fast that Rodgers was even slower than he was. But it makes no sense. But those two guys, right?
Yeah.
For your backup guards, and then you add your starting guards. That's 4 guys there already. And then your center is Josh Myers. That's 5 guys.
He's not your center.
Just hold on. I'm just going through all the list.
All right. Okay.
Then you got Bakhtiari, Yash, Zach Tom, your other fighters for your backup center and right tackle and left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? That's 8 already. Offensive linemen. And that doesn't even include Luke Tenuta, Caleb Jones, or Rasheed Walker.
Well, let me ask you this then.
Not to mention Jake Hansen, who stinks, but they're probably going to hang on to him. Hopefully they let him go.
No, he's done.
But are they going to have 11 offensive linemen? No. That's why I'm telling you. It's trade one of the 2, Bakhtiari or Yash. Trade him. Yash is in the last year's contract. Bakhtiari's got 1 more year left. So it would be smarter to trade Yash.
Right. And a team might be more interested in that because they might think, well, this guy is a lot better than what we got, and we can see how he does this year. And if he does great, maybe we sign him. If he does okay, he's better than what we got, and we move on from him after this year, and we're done. That's way easier than the Bakhtiari situation, right?
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I think they have more young talent at other positions. They can't afford to do what they did last year and have like 12 guys on the offensive line make the final roster. Like that was crazy how many guys they had on the team. I mean, it's nuts. They
Yeah.
kept Caleb Jones on there just to sit there, which is what they did to Yash the first 2 years. He made the 53, and then he never suited up for the whole first 2 years, I think.
Right.
And it's the same thing they did with Caleb Jones last year. So they just hide him on the roster. Well, they'll probably do that again because he's not going to play. I mean, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's a 6'9", 270-pound freak of nature athlete, but who doesn't know what the hell he's doing?
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm going to say this.
what are they doing? I don't know.
I know everybody loves when we talk about offensive line because nobody.
Well, it's the most important thing. Like, you can't do anything without offensive line. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And
I have some video to prove it.
And the other thing, Ben, is I've heard there's this thing out there. A lot of people talking about the Packers, right? National media, different people all over talking about the Packers. And when they were talking about them and with their thoughts on, they're going to be kind of a sneaky good team this year. Don't sleep on the Packers, blah, 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 blah. All these things. What are question marks? Question mark is the new quarterback. But we have this, these great running backs, solid offensive line. Some people have said solid or good offensive line. I'm like, well, is it solid or good? Like, do you feel, as a Packer fan, are you feeling comfortable with what we got? Do you think they're going to figure it out? Is it just, it's so many good guys? Is that why it's competitive? Is that how anyone looks at it? Or do you feel like, man, if it was really that solid or good, they would have this stuff figured out and guys would be set and we wouldn't be playing around with all these competitions? I don't know. I think it's a little squishy in some spots, and squishy offensive line doesn't work too good. That's all I know as far as offensive line goes.
Well, we've got a month to figure it out. Or they have a month to figure it out. But what it comes down to is what are we doing? Like, what are we playing for? This year, I mean, I think they're going to be fine. But are they really playing are they got a team together that's going to be able to make it and do something? And it makes me sad because I don't know if Aaron Jones is going to be here next year.
Yeah, probably not.
And it's like, so we're just having Aaron Jones sitting there and looking awesome and doing awesome stuff. But for what? A team that's got a bunch of guys who don't know what the heck's going on yet because they're young?
Yeah, but you got to feel like,
I guess so.
If the defense can play the way they should.
Yeah, well, their kicker, we can't kick a freaking field goal to save our lives right now. I mean, either guys are missing everything. So, like, what are we going to do when the game's on the line and this guy, Carlson shows up and misses every damn kick and we lose every game?
We still got Mason on speed dial. He's still staying ready.
Okay, we can come in and make a 30-yarder.
At least he can make them most of the time.
I don't know. Anyways, it's been 23 minutes of offensive line talk, so I'm ready to move on from that. But it's just they have to make – I don't want to see him holding 12, 13 offensive linemen on the roster this year. That's 100%. Dumb. There's too many young receivers that are good and need to get on the team. There's tight ends. There's outside linebackers. There's question marks at safety. There's cornerbacks that kind of rough. Like, I think we're going to end up with 5 corners, and that's it. And that's including Eric Stokes.
Wow.
Because I think the 5th is going to be Valentine, and after that, they're all going to get cut and go to practice squad. We're going to have 5 corners, and then Innis Gaines is going to make it as like your nickelback guy.
What about Anthony Johnson or whatever his name is? Or what's his name?
He'll make the team because he's a 7th round pick who's got under contract for all these years for 4 more years.
Savage is on the team. Rudy Ford's on the team. Who else you got?
Well, apparently Owens has been playing good. That's what everybody's been saying.
And then he's going to make the team.
And then there's the guy from the 49ers. I can't remember what his name was. How are all
those guys going to make the team?
They're not all going to make the team. That's the whole point. And then there's Down Levitt, who's a special teams guy. So he's going to make the team.
So
that's what I'm saying. You have all these safeties. And
same thing with Darnell Savage, right? What are we doing?
Well, maybe they'll trade him.
What are we doing?
If they trade him.
They should, if anyone wants him. I remember Seattle was supposedly hot for him back when he was drafted. So are the Seahawks still interested, or have they been turned off?
No, they have 2 good safeties already. They don't need them.
Oh, they found good safeties. Hey, did Aaron Rodgers play tonight? Sure he did.
I'm sure he didn't. Anyways, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, we'll just have like a minute about Aaron Rodgers. Did you hear his comments about the Sean Payton?
No.
His comments let you know exactly who and what he is.
I believe that.
He said, "Keep my coach's name out your mouth." He didn't say it like that.
He Will Smith them.
He Will Smith them.
Wow.
Will Smith, who is so egotistical and believes that he's above and beyond all human beings on this earth, that he can just walk up and smack the piss out of a guy on national TV and not get like assault charge or anything. And then after go, get my wife's name out your fucking mouth, right? Aaron Rodgers just did a Will Smith to Sean Payton because he's the same way. Wow. He believes he's so out there.
He is out there.
He believes he's that far above everyone, which is hilarious because, like I said, I know from a long time ago, when he first beat Brett Favre in 2010.
Thanks, Rick.
He said, "No one player is bigger than the NFL," or something like that. And he was talking about Brett Favre. Except now he should be talking about himself. So it's hilarious, but just saying, it was just one of those weird things. So whatever.
It's mirror time. Did he say it with some vigor, or was he kind of weak, like he's been weak lately for, so chill and like old, weak sounding? No? David points out that, Timmy Boyle's getting some snaps too, says Rick. And Zach Wilson was in at QB. Zach Wilson learning from Aaron Rodgers. David says that kicker was 64% kicker at Auburn. Oh boy, that's not.
That's a Rich Bisaccia guy.
It's not very That's not very accurate. That's all I'm saying.
Well.
Hopefully, hopefully kickers are. The Packers haven't suffered through that in quite some time, right? We've seen other teams how many kickers they just like rifle through. And some of that is like reactionary from the coach. The kicker has a couple bad games, and the coach is like, "Give me a new kicker, get him the hell out of here." And then they replace the kickers like that, like left and right. A bunch of teams have done that. But the Packers, in our lifetime, they haven't done that too much, right? Chris Jackie was there for a long time.
There was
Ryan
one
Longwell was there for a long time.
Yeah, but there was one who was drafted. There was somebody in between, either Longwell and Jackie or Longwell and Mason, who was kind of rough. I can't remember what his name was, but
it might have been one guy.
There was one guy, for 1 year, who was kind of like rough. But
was he the kicker or was he a punter? They had a lot of issues with punters.
He's a kicker.
A lot of issues with punters over the years.
They still have a lot of issues with punters.
Yeah, because the other guy's like crushing the ball, and Pat O'Donnell's looking like a chump.
Right, but every time he holds the ball for the kicks, the kicker misses. So apparently something's going on there that doesn't work. So would you rather have a punter who can boom it or a punter who can hold the actual freaking field goal attempt and actually have your kicker make it?
I want both. Can we get both?
I want points, so we're going with Pat O'Donnell, in my opinion. But, what are you going to do? Also, hey, let's talk about today's practice.
Today's practice? What do you got? I didn't catch it.
Rasul Douglas was talking some shit.
Oh, yeah.
To all the offensive players. Just in the 2-minute drill, apparently. There's a pass. He got beat by Christian Watson. And apparently Jordan Love threw a perfect pass deep. And it went right through Christian Watson's hands.
No.
Well, Rasul was kind of there. They said that Rasul kind of maybe got his hand on, but they thought the reports are that Watson should have caught it. Probably. But after that, Rasul was just giving him crap like the whole 2-minute drill after that.
Damn.
And of course, they didn't score.
Sully.
So Sully was all over him.
He said it in that Big Play Slave podcast. He's like, "Oh, we're on him. We're on them. We're on them. We're on them. We're working them." So they're working those guys, trying to make.
Rasul's letting them have it. So, and Eddie Herman was like, "I love it," but he's like, "Ooh, I don't know if it's a little too much. It might be a little too much."
Oh, might be a little too much.
Sheevberger, he's worried about the kicker too.
Sheevberger worried about that kicker. We should all be worried about.
I think we're all worried about the kicker. And I don't know.
Because, so many NFL games are close and come down to, can you make kicks? And you don't want to be at that spot. Like, we had it last year where Mason leg was so weak. There were opportunities where other teams would have been like, we'll just kick a, 48, 50-yarder here, 53-yard or whatever. And the Packers were like, our guy can't kick it that far, so we're going for it, or we're going to punt it. And, those are points off the board. So, but this guy doesn't have the distance problem. This guy's got the accuracy problem. It's kind of sketchy.
Well, my hope is maybe they'll score so many points, touchdowns and stuff that doesn't matter.
That would be nice.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Damn, I don't know. Are we going for 2 all the time then, too, or what? Go for 2.
Screw it. Go for 2 every time.
Go for 2.
Also, camp news. Apparently, your guy, Bo Melton, has been lighting up the practice field the last 2 times, 3-4 times. Just big plays every time.
He's
Bo
really
Melton.
fast.
The guy nobody's talking about.
Nobody's talking about him. Everybody's
Until
like
now.
Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs,
Wicks.
No, who's the other? Who's the 4th guy that's like for sure making it? Jaden Reed. Who's the other
Samari.
guy? Oh yeah, Samari. Samari's been so great. So those 3 rookies from last year, the Packers drafted, and then Jaden.
And then the
Reed,
3 guys that. Well, and then,
they're all locks. And then nobody's talking about Bo, and I'm like, hey, don't forget about Bo. Like I knew he was. I saw something there. He's my guy. He's gonna make the he's gonna make
fast.
the team. He's gonna make the team.
Well, if he does, then they can't have 27 offensive linemen. So let's trade Yash or Dave Bakhtiari. Okay, done with that. But anyways, so Bo Melton's been looking good. Apparently Owens at safety has been looking pretty good.
So the Packers could then have 4 wide receivers from the 2022 draft.
Yeah,
on their team. That's crazy. Okay, go ahead.
That'd be good because it'd be worth it if they're good players.
Yeah,
and they're good. So let's do it.
All right, I like it.
So, are you ready to watch some Jordan Love video?
Oh, sure, if you got it.
Let me see if I can get it ready here.
You gotta prompt me on that. Let's see.
Well,
Steve says we went through this 2 years ago at the kicking game. Oh, David says that. Sorry. Did we? With the field goal kicking, was it bad? I mean, Mason had that one bad. He had that really bad year, and the Packers stuck with him, and then he was better. I don't know if it was too bad. They did have an issue with J.K. Scott holding, right? Was it J.K. Scott, wasn't it? Or no, it was the other guy. I know they changed punters so many times. I can't remember all the damn punters.
No,
anyway,
J.K.
the
Scott
point
was
is,
bad punter.
When the
You're
punters
thinking
couldn't...
of Bajorquez.
When the Bajorquez, who was booming the shit out of the ball, but couldn't hold very well, and then Mason got all pissy all the time and complained about it. And then they were like, well, sorry. So, maybe the Packers have moved to the point where they're like, well, just deal with it, kicker. Like, make the ones you can. This guy's too good at punting. We're going to use him for his punting. We don't care if he's a bad holder. We don't care. But can't someone else on the team learn how to hold then? Like a tight end, a receiver. Isn't there somebody else that could learn how to hold if the punter's just so bad at it? Don't you think?
I guess.
I don't know. Quarterbacks used to hold. What the hell's wrong with the backup quarterbacks holding?
I know. I think I'd rather have a backup quarterback hold because at least you could do some fakes and some crazy stuff. But
Hell yeah.
they like to have the whole practice with these guys when they're standing around doing nothing for like 5 hours while everybody else is working hard to have them practice this crap. Well, apparently it doesn't do them any good, so might as well have the quarterback hold. I don't know.
Rick says maybe they'll poach a kicker from the scrap heap or practice squad at the last minute and see what other teams get.
Well, let's see. I mean, we still got a couple more weeks. Maybe he'll come around and all this kind of crap. I don't know.
Oh, man. Sheev is already moving on to week 1. He wants to see Walker shadowing Justin Fields. He says he never makes that adjustment. Rushing QBs destroy us. Look, Justin Fields is the only thing he's going to scare you with is his running. So they should do that, and they should try to contain him and stuff like that. That's a good move. And Quay Walker, who also talked last week, got asked point blank about the ejections last year and what he's going to do differently. He talked about, he talked through some things. He talked to some people. He opened up more. He worked through stuff. And he's ready for what he knows he's going to be targeted by teams. Like guys are going to try to get him to do stuff and react. And he's like, I'm just going to do the play and move on to the next play. And that's his plan for this season. Hopefully that holds true. Sorry, continue on. I like what I heard from Quay Walker. He doesn't sound, when he talks, he doesn't sound like he's that smart, but I think he's pretty smart. And he's amazing. Well, he just doesn't. It just doesn't sound smart.
That's not nice.
I don't sound smart when I talk either. Like, what do you want? I'm just saying, just an observation. Just an observation.
It's not nice, but
he's no Brad Jones on the mic. I'll just say that. But anyway, the point is, he is fast, and I like that. So let's do it, Quay Walker, and don't get ejected, and just knocked it. But see, some of those plays I went back and watched some of that when our top 5 Packers were excited about for the upcoming season, and you showed some of those plays with Quay Walker and where he'd like make T.J. Hawkinson not catch the ball that he actually already caught, but then he like jarred it loose. He just like ran in there and just smacked the hell out of him. Like,
Yeah,
I like
good.
it. I like it. Smack the hell. We need somebody to smack the hell out of people on defense, and in the middle, that's fast. That's even better. So Quay Walker, do what you do, man. Do what you do.
Yeah, it's good
All
stuff.
All right, we got Jordan Love is what you say, huh?
All right, here I watched the game back. I don't have the all 22 for this because apparently NFL Plus doesn't let you go back that far to get the all 22.
it's
They
not
only let me
coming
do
up. I don't
watch
know why
last
they do.
year's all 20. What?
It's not coming up. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Now it came up. It was a little delayed. Delayed. I think it's good now.
Okay. Well, what we're going to be doing is I think I should have given Jordan Love a little bit better pocket presence and escapability.
Oh, okay.
Because when I went back and watched this game, I was like, dang, I didn't realize he did all that. So these are just some of the plays where there's guys in his face and he escapes or he moves or he throws the ball with a guy in his face. Now, this is going to be half speed, so it's not going to be as impressive. But we all know what happens if I don't do it at half speed. Sometimes it gets all jerky, worky. So we're going to just do it at half speed. Here we go. So we're just going to watch a bunch of videos here. Take a look. This is just impressed with Jordan Love's ability to escape or move within the pocket or do something crazy. So if you're looking here, he stiff arms this guy, 98. Hangs on the ball with 2 hands, gets out of there, almost gets a first down. That was in the first quarter. Now on this play, he's going to do play action, goes back, looking for something. You got Billy Turner holding. He just takes off. Stiff arms that guy. Now, I wish he would not stiff arm with his throwing hand. He needs to hold the ball in his right hand and then stiff arm with his left hand. Or neither. Don't stiff arm at all. I mean, you're not a running back. You're a quarterback. But he got out of that one pretty good. Watch A.J. Dillon on his pass protection here against this blitzing corner. That's pretty dang good. And then Jordan gets out of there. Now we're still down 13-3. A lot had to do with special teams, so we're not going to talk about that. Here's a play where the guy just comes untouched. He gets the ball off. Randall Cobb misses the block. Devontae, gets some yards, yippee skip. But it's more about the guy in his face, quick, and boom. If you want me to stop, just let me know if you have something to say.
Stop for a second before you move on. One quick thing. I got to say this. I watched some stuff here with Devontae Adams just recently. I watched a bunch of stuff from him last year on the Raiders. He looked like a way more motivated player.
Well, this is half speed.
I don't mean by that play. I'm just saying like we
can
remember what he was like.
Can I just say something real quick? I have a
Yeah.
Devontae Adams section. So if you have something to say about Devontae, let's wait a little bit.
Oh, from this game? Okay. But I think his time with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay wore on him, and I think he was happy to be somewhere else.
Okay. I don't think it has. No.
All right. Well, fair enough. All right. Jordan Love.
Okay. So moving on. I don't even know what happens here, but just watch him. All right. Somehow he gets that off with a guy hanging on to him.
Royce got run. Right
Royce
back
got
in.
pushed back pretty bad. Yeah.
And Billy Turner just sat there and waited for the guy to come right to him. It was impressive tackle play.
It was weird. Here we got DeGuara missing the outside rush block and a very good pass, but it's, the guy who can't get open is Randall Cobb. But the reason why I put that on there is let's go back and watch that again because there's guys in his face so fast because DeGuara totally misses. And if you look at what the Chiefs are doing here, I mean, they're sending everybody. They've only got this safety who's kind of helping to double team on Devontae Adams. Single here. So that's 4 guys. They're blitzing 7 guys.
God, if you just cut over the middle off the slot, it's a freaking easy.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. But they're all trying to do their one-on-one. I don't know what they're doing here.
One-on-one, piss around and win that matchup. And, option route, like win whatever way you can. And then the quarterback will adjust because that was the Aaron Rodgers offense. Great. Dumb.
And it's 3rd and 5. So let's watch the routes that are called here
Dumb.
on 3rd and 5.
Oh, going.
right here. But he's already got a guy in his, like, the ball's gone. Like he probably should have tried to throw it here, but I don't think he could have. But I mean, there's 4 guys in the flight path of this ball.
Yeah,
And then look up
Alan
here,
Lazard's
Devontae
so slow
Adams.
getting over there.
Devontae Adams on top of your screen is blanketed. The great Devontae Adams, the most dominant player in the history of all time, apparently, completely blanketed, and guys in his face. And then here's 4 offensive linemen. You know, actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 guys over here. 5 guys blocking 3 guys.
Yeah, look at Billy
And then-
Turner doing nothing, and Royce Newman collapsed down as
Yeah.
well, doing nothing. And DeGuara
And
had
then-
to block 2 guys, or
And to go,
whatever,
well, he's
3
3.
guys.
There's 3 guys.
Yeah, great, smart. That's
mean-
the Royce Newman and Billy Turner effect, by the way. But
What I'm saying is, I mean, he's getting balls off. That's a great throw. Getting shoved backwards with a guy on top of you, and he's throwing that ball. If that was any other receiver who, like Romeo Dobbs had a pass this week against Jair, where it was kind of the same type of throw, and he just jumped up and mossed Jair on a one-on-one drill. Now it's a one-on-one drill, but that's a one-on-one drill. And,
Yeah,
I mean, there's no
exactly.
safety help there.
no, and Randall Cobb's
But-
just small and can't do it, adjust
Right.
to it easy enough.
And that's all Jordan Love could do, was just get rid of that. And here, like this one. Now this is the touchdown to Lazard. But look at the protection on this. It's 4th and 5. It's 4th and 5. And if you look at, there's 3 dudes up here, all coming. And this is Jenkins. This is Runyon. This is Lukey. And I don't know quite what's going on here, but there's 3 guys here. Lucas is, I hate to say it, Jace, I know this is probably Chris Jones, but
And that's also Royce right in front of him. So he's
I
probably
know,
worried about that.
but there's an earlier play where he goes and helps Runyon and leaves Royce one-on-one with Chris Jones.
Oh boy, that's not
So
good.
Lucas did not have a great game here, by the
No,
way,
I
either.
know.
But there's 3 guys coming here, and there's only 2 guys to block. And I mean, Lukey should be turning that way. Now maybe he eventually does turn back that way, but Jenkins gets nobody. Both guys just run right past him. Do you see that? Like, he didn't, like, at least get one of them, but he gets neither. Watch
And-
Jenkins here at left tackle.
Well, also Royce did his classic Royce too,
But luckily, Jordan Love is just like, all right, I gotta go. It's 4th down. I gotta throw it over there. And luckily, we had Lazard covered by a linebacker, and
it's like a great example of showing you that the offensive line sometimes needs to literally almost do nothing and plays can still work, which is weird to say, but a lot of times you need him to do stuff to make plays work. Look how
Right.
Alan Lazard, giant Alan Lazard, get nice and little there. Look at him. Aw, good play.
well, it was. And I'll say this: these type of plays where we're seeing him escape with guys' face, and he's running, he's moving, he's getting the ball out as fast as he can with the guys just bearing down on him. The first 3 the first 3 drives, he did not look comfortable. Like, his balls were all over the place. They weren't like accurate at all. And there were some drives in here where the ball placement's a little off, but he got better as the game went on. Even when he knew he's going to get hammered and he knew guys were going to be in his face, it's the poise and his size, that 6'4" size that help him, give him an advantage in situations like that. Where Rodgers, of course, can't handle that, especially now. I mean, he looks so old now. Have you seen pictures of Rodgers lately? He looks like he's 60 years old. But when you go back and watch this game,
But he's also
It's-
short, and it affected him at times,
right?
and nobody talked about it. But he was freaking too short at times to do stuff, and that was a problem.
But I was just amazed at how well Jordan Love. He got sacked twice, but I mean, on both the sacks, it was like 1 second, and the guy, like Billy Turner didn't touch anybody, and then the next time I think it was Royce who didn't touch anybody, and before he takes 3 steps and the guy's in his face and he's done, and there's not much he can do there. But it was impressive to watch him with all this turmoil coming at him, and I don't think he knew what the hell was going on,
Yeah.
until eventually he calmed down and he could be like, okay. But I also think the route combinations and the receivers running the routes didn't help him. Like, I don't know what the play calls were, but there was no outlets. Like, even on this play as we're watching from right now, it's like there's 3 guys here. They're all running straight. I'm sure some will change, but there's nothing over here. Like there's no outlet. Maybe Aaron Jones is going to sneak over here. I don't know. But they're
Yeah.
not even like going after this side of the field. They're, I guess,
They're
which is good.
basically they're basically all running into coverage right now.
Yeah.
Right? Devontae Adams, you could stop right there and turn around and you get a completion if that's something you could do. But they're all
Well,
like, it drives me batty to see how many times guys just run into coverage. And that was something I think I heard it. I don't remember who I heard it from. I think Love was talking about it. He was talking about one of the guy, I think maybe it was a Musgrave play at practice or whatever, where they hit him for, a touchdown or whatever, where he said he basically just found the spot and he stopped. He didn't run himself into coverage. He like found the open spot and went to it and then got the ball. So that would be nice too, to see more stuff like that if that's what they're going to do.
And I'll say this too. Now we're going to get to the Devontae Adams part of this game. Now, this is not even all of the plays. I could probably show 2 or 3 more plays of Devontae's less than stellar effort. And if I had the all-22, it'd be better because I would rather see it from the back view. But I'm going to show you 4 plays where Devontae Adams gets his hand on the ball, and does not come down with it. Or does something so dumb, like he would never do that. And the other, we'll get to it as we watch. So let's watch this first one. I don't even remember which one it is, but we'll take a look. These are all Devontae Adams' less than stellar effort in a Jordan Love starting game. Now, I'm not saying he's doing it because, his best buddy, whatever, Aaron Rodgers wants to make him look good and make Jordan Love look bad. Oh, yeah, I am saying that. Okay, here we go. Now, Jordan Love is getting out of the pocket here. He's got Chris Jones bearing down on him. He throws the ball. Oh, this is different. This is a Randall Cobb play. That's another great play where he gets out of the pocket and just chucks it up. Now, if that safety was a little bit better safety, he probably would have picked that off. Because as you're watching this, you're going to see, now this is slow motion, but you're going to see 22 here. He goes with Cobb. 32 sits down. And watch how 22 kind of lets up right when the ball gets like right there. Like if he would have attacked, he probably could have picked that off. Like if that was Rudy Ford or Rasul, that would have been an interception. And now it's 1st and 10. And this is a bad pass. He see how his shoulder went away from his body. It was not a good throw. And if it would have been a good pass, Cobb probably would have had at least 5 yards on that. But now it's 2nd and 9, and Jordan Love does a good job picking up a couple yards in a scramble because he gets pressure again right away up the middle from Royce, and he breaks the pocket, gets out of there, breaks a tackle, runs forward, gets 4 yards. Then it's 3rd down. And on this 3rd down play, and this is 39 seconds in the second half, you're like, this is coming up quick here. 3rd and 5, he's going to get in trouble, and he's going to scramble to the top of the screen. And he's going to throw to Devontae, and Devontae is going to be looking at him like he's looking at him the whole time. And it was a bad pass. And I think Jordan drilled it a little too hard. But the effort on the play, in my opinion, was not as good as it probably should have been. And now this is 4th down. And what I'm going to pause it right there, the throw. He's got a red jersey in his face. He had to throw this ball, right? Jace, are you there? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm here.
Thank you. He had to throw this ball. I mean, look at this. There's nothing here. He's on his back foot, chucking it, right? It's 4th and 5. He's throwing this, and when he throws it, what does this look like to you? Does this look like Devontae's open?
No.
Now, here's the sad part. Randall Cobb is wide open, and so is Alan Lazard coming across the middle.
Right.
But he got the pressure in his face so fast, and he's been told, because Matt
Devontae's
LaFleur has said this, you got to get the ball to Devontae. You got to get the ball to Devontae. Got to get the ball to Devontae. And it wasn't until later on in the game, in the second half, this is still the first half, the very end of the first half, when he started throwing it to other guys like Randall Cobb and other, and whoever else, and Alan Lazard to move the ball, and DeGuara too.
Yeah, that's what.
But in the first half, it was Devontae, because that's what they tell him in his head. Oh, Devontae's the best. So based on when he throws this,
I looked at this. How many targets did Devontae Adams have in this game?
Oh, I don't even know, 12?
14.
14. And how many catches did he have?
6.
Yeah. But here's the other thing. So when he throws this ball, does Devontae Adams look like he's going to win this deep route on 4th and 5? Why would you be running a deep route on 4th and 5? I don't know, especially with Devontae, the great Devontae, when he's single covered with zero safety help over here. Like, it's just one-on-one Devontae.
Why are you trying to beat him to the outside? Cut inside, take the easy completion in the first down.
Right. But even then, how many times have you seen Devontae and Aaron Rodgers go when Devontae this guy's on top of him, right?
Yeah.
Love throws a back shoulder. And Devontae, even though it's obvious he's not going to get past this guy, runs a go route on 4th and 5. So this is obviously an option route. And based on the position of the corner, the quarterback decided, okay, the corner is got above position or, top position on this wide receiver.
Yep.
Based on that, the receiver, who is the greatest of all time, most dominant player ever, apparently, you think he would know, look for the back shoulder at this point on 4th and 5 when they're setting the house. He should know they're setting the house when there's no safeties helping up here. It's just you and him one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And watch Devontae Adams on this play and watch where the ball lands.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have sat back for that back shoulder, but he wasn't even looking.
Yeah.
He wasn't even looking for that. And he certainly wasn't past this guy, but he's still, look at where he is. He's 15, 20 yards downfield on 4th and 5. And the sad part is Randall Cobb's wide open.
Is that the easiest play to get the first down? Is that the way to get the first down on 4th and 5?
No, but
no.
But like I said,
Rodgers way.
When you have a guy in your face, right? That's an Aaron Rodgers play.
Mm-hmm.
But watch how fast this comes at him. I mean, they're sending 7 guys.
Yeah,
and he's thinking,
totally
I got Devontae one-on-one. He's totally going to look for that back shoulder. Devontae doesn't even think about the back shoulder. Really? Mm-hmm. And then look at his reaction out here. Watch him. As if it's Jordan Love's fault.
Is he upset
or I don't know.
himself?
Maybe he's just upset with himself. I'm hoping he's upset with himself.
I hope so, but probably not.
Now there's this play. Now, is it a little thrown outside? Yes, it's a little outside. But here's the other thing I want you to look at. Look at Devontae Adams at the bottom, at the 20-yard line right now. Do you see him?
Yeah, and
Jordan
he's got
Love,
Chris Jones to throw around here, so.
Right. Chris Jones has got his hands up in the air, and Devontae is looking directly at him.
Mm-hmm.
And watch how slow, now this is half speed, but watch how slow he moves. And he's looking at the ball coming right at him. Look at his face, or look at his helmet.
Yeah,
he's looking at the ball right now. And look at how slow he moves over there. Oh, crap. Sorry. Something weird happened there. Go watch that again. I'm just telling you, there was less than stellar effort by Devontae Adams in this game. Okay, watch him here. Look at how pathetic that route was. Did you see that route? Now, it's half speed.
Go get the ball. I mean, but he's not really trying to go get it.
No.
He even slowed down in there, too.
Now, watch. This. Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
This is the interception. Jordan Love's interception in this game. It's Devontae. One-on-one coverage here. And Allen Lazard's almost open. There's a guy here covering him. Did Devontae, how many times have you watched Devontae Adams have a sixth sense on an Aaron Rodgers pass to know where the ball is and to get his late hands up, right? That one, he just was I don't know what he was doing. He didn't see the ball. He didn't look for the ball. He didn't try that hard. He gets his hand right on it. Pull it in. Pull it toward you. If he's such a great receiver, I've seen Sterling Sharp and Randy Moss grab that ball and pull it right into their body. He gets his hand right on it. But he's not tough enough to fight through that.
He jumped late, too.
He jumped late and also not very high. How many times have we seen Devontae jump super high?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, after watching the game back,
it appears like not
I'm pretty
his
sure
best effort. That's what it appears like.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. And I know that was 13-0. So you're thinking he's not trying, they don't have a chance to win. Well, then get him out of the freaking game. Give somebody else a chance to come in and play then, if he's not going to be out there playing hard. And I think Jordan Love figured it out after a while too. He's like, screw it. I'm going to Allen Lazard now, or I'm going to Randall Cobb now, or I'm going to Josiah DeGuara now. And it wasn't helping him that the Chiefs blitzed everybody. The offensive line was playing like dog crap. And the running game was working pretty good, but it didn't matter because they were losing so bad. They had to just pass a lot.
14 of his 34 attempts to Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
The next closest guy was Randall Cobb with 5 and A.J. Dillon with 4.
A.J. Dillon had a lot of catches. Yeah. After
Allen
watching the game
Lazard-
back.
Alan Lazard had 1 target, the 1 pass he caught for a touchdown. MVS had two targets, 2 catches. DeGora, 2 targets, 2 catches. Aaron Jones, 2 targets. Dominic Daphne, 1 target. Mercedes, 1 target. A wasted 1 because it was for 1 catch for -1 yard. But Devontae Adams, 14 targets from Jordan Love's 34 attempts in that game.
Okay.
Dumb.
And I didn't want to be negative because this is supposed to be,
but it's
I was excited about what I saw from Jordan Love's escapability, his ability to sit in the pocket with guys drilling on him and throwing off his back foot and throwing pretty accurate.
He was thrown in a tough spot, and he did a lot better than a lot of people gave him credit for. Or noticed, I should say.
And this was 2 years ago. So it's like,
Right.
hey, I mean, but I have one more play to show, and I totally forgot about this play. And when it showed up, this is not like the last play of the game or anything, but it's the last play I have in this video. And I totally forgot about it. When I saw it, I was just like, oh, wow. That is the awesomest -1 pass play I've ever seen in my life. So it was some Magic Man, Don Mikowski stuff. So let's watch this play. You still got me on yet?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Check this out. Check this Jordan Love. And maybe some of you remember it, but. So Jordan Love goes back. Look at that. Right up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Trips over a guy. Breaks that tackle. Throws it back across the body. The big dog who gets tackled for a -1 yard gain. I was just like, wait a minute. Whoa. What the heck was that?
I did not remember that play.
I know, but watching it back.
It was a total Royce Newman effect right out of the gate. Just
Oh, yeah, right here.
watch him.
Actually, it was Lucas.
Well, Lucas just shaded left. They're all just like.
It was it was a disaster. It was a disaster.
How the hell? I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
And how did he get out of that? I don't know.
That poor guy.
I have no idea.
Damn, that was a rough game to have to start because his teammates did not help him out much at all in that game. All the guys that should have.
But I'm just saying that's
legit.
2 years ago with a guy who got thrown into the fire using the game plan and the offense built for a 38-year-old quarterback, right? And the other thing I just want to bring up because there's been a lot of questions and a lot of talk about his downfield throwing so far. The first couple practices, he was underthrowing guys. And then Matt LaFleur told him to let it rip. And then later on, he was started overthrowing a couple guys. And, there kind of haven't been, there's been some good passes deep. And my thought, in my opinion, is this. Why do we want to keep seeing the Aaron Rodgers plays? Like, don't compare him to Aaron Rodgers. Don't compare this offense to an Aaron Rodgers offense. Yes, Aaron Rodgers wants to throw that 40-yard perfect pass along the sideline for the guy to catch it and then run out of bounds after he catches it, right? Or tiptoe at the sideline.
Yeah, nothing can happen after.
What Matt LaFleur is looking for, and the thing that Christian Watson has been saying and Rasul Douglas has been saying, and a lot of other guys have been saying, is they're impressed with the fact that Jordan Love goes back and he reads the coverage and he knows where to go with the ball. And he's throwing it to guys in rhythm who can then try to get more yards if they're open. Now, if they don't get open, then we got some issues. Now, the other thing is, though, they can run some plays to get guys open. And right now they're just doing basic stuff in practice. That's nothing fancy. Even Matt LaFleur said that in his press conference today. He's like, yeah, I mean, the defense, we're not really throwing much at us. And here on offense, we're not really doing anything too special. We're just doing basic concepts, route concepts and getting the installs in. So there's no like special scheme play for any particular player. These are all just the basic staples of the offense. But what I'm saying is this, for Packer fans, please don't be expecting to see these 35-yard perfect passes along the sideline. That's Aaron Rodgers' thing. Okay? What Jordan Love wants to do is get the ball in the playmakers' hands and let them cook. Let them make plays. And if they're not open,
to play quarterback.
Right. He wants to run the offense. Yeah. And the Packers will be more successful that way. Because those plays could then turn into something awesome. Like a Josiah DeGuara screen pass that he took 60 yards for a touchdown against the Lions from Jordan Love, right? We showed that last week, or 2 weeks, whatever it was. We showed the video a couple weeks ago. And those are things that are exciting to me. And that's why I get kind of upset, because like I listen to Wildy and Tausch, and Wildy keeps talking about, it's like, oh, there's no wow throws. Finally we got a wow throw. Finally we see a wow throw in like practice number 4. And I'm like,
do you know how many wow
okay.
throws Joe Montana had?
Right.
How many wow throws did Joe Montana have?
He had a couple, but most of them were just smart throws.
Yeah.
I mean, Roger Craig had a crap ton of catches. Why? Because that was where to go with the ball.
Hit the guy in stride in a slant and let him go.
Or Jerry Rice and and Taylor and whoever, I mean, but so that's all I'm saying. And Mark Tauscher even said that to him. He's like, hey, I don't care. Like, wild throws are great. That's exciting. But how about when he just reads the defense and gets the ball to the right guy? Mark Tauscher here, right?
Yeah, Mark Tauscher, yeah. It's good. Sounds kind of like he's in an auction.
Well, he always
auctioneer.
Like, Chalmers Jewelers, and I can't even do it, but it's
just
hilarious.
kidding. He's energized.
Yeah, and he always like falls out. His sentences always fall off and go really soft at the end. So I don't really know.
He's like me.
I don't really know.
He's like me like that.
Yeah, it's not good. That's not good. You need to he needs to carry the enthusiasm through the entire sentence, because he always starts super high. Hey, Mark Tauscher here. Anyways,
look,
but
so
that's all I'm saying about Jordan Love. Everybody's talking about these wild throws.
He had an interview with don't worry about the wild throws. He had an interview with Stacey Dales, and I watched some of that.
Yeah,
and she even asked him, well, what is it going to be like? What kind of freedom are you going to have at the line of scrimmage? And he was just like, well, I mean, we're going to probably just trust Matt to call up the right play, and we're going to run the play. Like,
sounds good.
Which Matt LaFleur is probably like, holy shit, yeah.
Well, he also said, like, there's cans and there's run
right.
options on passes and pass options on runs. And he even pulled up the other day, I guess, when Rasul was playing like 8 yards off of Christian Watson, and he just pulled up and threw it over there. He did the Aaron Rodgers with a quick pass over to Christian Watson to give him a chance to get the ball and get moving right away. So it's just, I don't understand why we need to see the wow throws so much. Like, why is everybody asking for the Aaron Rodgers? He's not Aaron Rodgers. And I just showed you from this video, his pocket escapability is way, way better than Aaron Rodgers. That from what we've seen over the last 4 years. Because Aaron Rodgers just gets sacked at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how many times Aaron Rodgers just gets sacked? Period.
Yeah. He can't get away anymore. If you also recall, Packer fans, go back in your memory, the early years of Aaron Rodgers, it wasn't a bunch of wild throws either. It was running the offense and throwing the ball to the open guys. And there were some deep throws, sure, and Love will have those. He'll probably have them off play action, and he'll have some deep crossers where there's lots of room to work, and those work great in this offense once you establish running the ball. And I don't care that it's easier. It doesn't have to be hard for the quarterback for me to like it, because it's still a completion and it's still a big play and sometimes a touchdown. It's not overly impressive to me because of the fact that, oh, wow, it was such a hard throw, and I don't give a rat's ass. Hard throw, easy throw. I don't care. If it results in a big play and success and points, I'll take it. Style points mean jack squat in the NFL. They mean nothing. They mean zero in terms of winning games. That does not matter. That means something to certain people, and oh, wow, players might marvel at it because they still do about, oh, Rodgers, he's one of a kind, or he's a unicorn, or he's this or that. Well, yeah, he is one of a kind, or kind of like two of a kind. He's like Brett Favre reincarnated, sort of. Not in his play, but his personality and stuff. But anyway, the point is, it doesn't have to be like that. Just think of some of the great quarterbacks in the history of the NFL and some of the most winning quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. They didn't play like that. They played quarterback, right? Yeah. They played the position. They moved an offense. That's what you need. That's what you want. I don't give a crap how it looks.
The biggest thing that's also encouraging from watching that video is Jordan Love's mechanics were crap. Like his positioning, his foot positioning, what he's throwing, especially his throws to the sidelines or to like the flats, were way off. But over the last year or so, they've gotten much better with Obi Tom helping him out, and he's been working on it more. So that's encouraging as well. So those are exciting things. I can't wait to see what the offense looks like. I can't wait to see, what type of plays are being called and combinations and route combinations and the ability to get guys open and scheme them open and give Jordan Love easy throws right away and let him just run the offense and do the play that's called and play action plays and bootlegs. And obviously we just showed the video here. He can get out of the pocket. He can break tackles because he's 6'4", 225 pounds.
Yeah.
He's got the size that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have.
Long
and the
arms
speed
too.
Long arm.
arms
Yeah.
too.
He can do a lot of things. And that was 2 years ago. He's probably bigger now and stronger now than he was then. Because that was only his second year, right?
Yeah, but because of that too, being a couple inches taller and long arms, he can throw over some stuff that Rodgers just couldn't. Rodgers needed a lane or a window, or he'd have to go up and over. The short middle of the field is available to Jordan Love, where it was only available to Aaron Rodgers if he had a lane.
Yeah.
And it's another example of why, like, remember how Tom Brady had these short slot receivers that he could throw to all the time? Well, part of that is because he's 6'5" or whatever. He could literally throw down to the short receivers and hit them over the middle in a spot that was, in front of the linebackers or just behind the linebackers or whatever, and was effective for them and hit them on the fly. Aaron Rodgers could never do that. Russell Wilson could never do that. Like, guys that are shorter just can't do that unless they have an opening, unless a defensive rush creates a wide enough lane, and then they have to hit it in one of those windows, this window or whatever. So it's different, and it's a nice thing to have. It's part of being taller that helps you. So it's a good part. And Brett Favre wasn't very tall either. Remember that too. He was only 6'2". Rodgers is probably more like 6 foot, 6'1", right? Even though they said 6'2". I don't think he's.
I think he's been shrinking. He's so old now.
Yeah, maybe. Posture's not as good.
I'm
Probably
shrunk.
like the rest
I'm
of
not
us.
5'11" 3/4 anymore. I'm only 5'11". So
David says Jaden Reed is a playmaker.
he is a
sounds pretty
playmaker.
good.
Did you hear what he did today?
So was Bo, though. Yeah, what did he do?
He did one of the coolest things I've ever heard. So he was doing a 20-yard comeback route, where he just runs 20 yards, puts his foot in the ground and turns around and catches the ball kind of thing. So a real deep comeback route.
Mhm.
And it was the one-on-one drill. So it was him against the D-back, and I think it was Ennis Gaines or somebody, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So he goes downfield. He's quick enough that he beats Ennis Gaines. But he's supposed to do a comeback route. Okay. So this is how smart Reed is. He's got him beat by like a step or two. So he puts his arm up like this, like saying, hey, throw it deep. I got him beat, right? Like when guys usually do, right? And so when he does that, Ennis Gaines is like, oh, crap. And Ennis Gaines just starts hauling it. Then Jaden Reed goes, puts on the brakes, turns around. And Ennis Gaines is like 5 yards past him downfield. And then he catches a perfect 20-yard pass, and then runs forward and whatever. So that's just smart. Like,
Nice.
He knew what the route was. And to be honest, he was in bad position because he beat the guy so bad that he was in the wrong position for that route. So to make up for the fact, so he's not only is he running fast, playing fast, he's also thinking fast. That was a smart move to put his hand up, make Ennis Gaines be like, oh crap, this is a deep route, which makes him put on the jets. And then Reed slams on the brakes, turns around, catches the 20-yard cut or, whatever, turnaround route or whatever it's called. I have no idea. I don't know all this stuff, these terms and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? It's genius. And when I heard that, I was excited. I'm like, oh, not only is this guy, because I've heard him talk and he's with it. Like, this guy's not some dummy, right? This guy's pretty smart. I like Reed a lot.
Yeah, he's no Jamon Moore or nothing.
Oh, thank God. But I mean, but he's quick, he's smart, he's fast, he's got agility, he's got a lot of good things. Like, that was a second-round pick that I remember when they drafted, we were all like, what? Who's this guy? What's the deal with this guy? And it brings me back to that one. Remember that test that we were talking about after the draft or right before the draft?
Yeah, sure.
Where I was saying like there were some quarterbacks and whatever that, I can't remember exactly what that test was called, but I remember with the interview, they were on PFF and they told the guys at PFF that they could only work with half the teams in the league. They work with 2 teams from each division. And what it does is it tests the cognitive abilities of each player, like the ability to learn and have quick reflexes mentally as well as physically, but mostly mentally. And because of that, I think the Packers are one of the teams, because when you look at the guys they've drafted, it's like all these guys are smart. Christian Watson last year, Matt LaFleur said last week, Christian Watson's probably the smartest player he's ever coached. Not smartest wide receiver he's ever coached. Smartest player he's ever coached. I'm pretty sure he coached Aaron Rodgers. So what does that tell you? That tells you that Christian Watson's a genius. And he is. So I'm just excited. You're muted again, so I don't know why you keep talking when you're muted all the time, but you do. So stop being
I
muted.
was trying to look up something while you're doing this, so I didn't want to like.
Oh, I thought you were talking there.
I was talking a little bit, but that's okay. That's fine. It's. I mean, they've said that repeatedly about Christian Watson, and it helps. Obviously, clearly, like you said, like you pointed out with Reed and whatever, like guys that are aware, guys that can make good adjustments when need be. That can only help. It's just a matter of, hey, hopefully the plays work well too. I think that's what the team's looking for, and I think that's what we'll find out. And that'll help us tell about Matt LaFleur a little bit too about, hey, do your plays work? I mean, okay, well, hopefully they do. And can he find those creative ways to get guys open? And they're built into this offense. You see with other teams all the time that run the similar offense. So there should be different ways to assist guys so they don't have to just win the one-on-ones. Because one thing the defensive backs have been doing has been challenging these receivers physically, right? Really getting physical with them, and that's been a good sign. And that's those D-backs practicing that, which they told us they wanted. They told their coach they wanted to play that way. Their coach is letting them play that way. Hopefully he does it in the season as well. But it's also training these young wide receivers for press coverage, right? Ways to get off, how physical guys might be with them. Now, there's not going to be too many other corners in the league that'll be quite as physical as Rasul will be, but, so that's really great. But any of those guys getting up in their face, grabbing them, holding them, doing the stuff that defensive backs are going to do is all really good stuff for these young wideouts. And, yeah, I'm excited for that too. So, cool. I love all that. That's good stuff. Hey, I got a couple interesting things for you, Ben.
Okay.
I started digging in because there's been so much hype around Jair Alexander. Now just number 26 on the NFL top 100. Man, we just hear about how great he is all the time.
Well, did you see his interview the other day? He had a 14-minute interview where he said he was the best. He said he was the best quarter in the league 4 times. He told you.
Wow.
That's usually not a good sign when you have to tell everybody you're the best quarter in the league, especially when you have to do it 3 or 4 times during your interview. But
it's Tyrone Williams style right there. Tyrone Williams. Yeah.
Nice. It worked for Tyrone because he said he was good, and then all of a sudden the reporters all said he was good too, even though he stunk up the joint. He had one lucky interception in a playoff game, and ever since then he rode that for 2-3 years.
Only true Packer fans will remember who Tyrone Williams was. He wasn't on the team that long, but for some reason he started telling people in camp one year that he was a top 5 cornerback, and then the media started echoing that, and then all of a sudden everybody was saying he was a top 5 cornerback, even though his play did not match that. Except we weren't saying that. We were saying, no, he's not a top 5 cornerback. Rick's got to run. See you later, Rick. Thanks for hanging out. Got a couple quick things here to follow up, because I just thinking about cornerbacks. So I was looking at some of these advanced statistics because I started thinking, you and I know who the best cornerback on the Packers is, even though other people don't. Now, I will say this about Jair Alexander. I hope he lives up to all the hype. I hope he has a fantastic year because that means it's helpful for the Packers defense. But I got to see it. I got to see him perform consistently, not give up 6 catches for 140 yards against the Bears and Equanimeous St. Brown, and only make 1 play. So targeted 7 times, gave up 6 catches, but the one non-catch he gave was the interception towards the end of the game that everybody thought he had a great game. No, he did a terrible game, but he made 1 pick. Anyway, I got to see more consistency out of him, and I also would love to see him tackle better. But we know who the best cornerback on the Packers is, and that's Rasul Douglas. So I was looking at some advanced statistics, some of these things. did you know last season in the down year of Rasul Douglas, right? Because we heard that over and over and over and over and over and over again. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games where he gave up 40 yards receiving or less. 13 of the 17 games, guys got 40 yards receiving or less. And actually, in 11 of those games, it was less than 35 yards.
How many touchdowns did he give up, though? I know he gave up at least one for sure.
He gave up 6 touchdowns.
Oh, that's a lot.
Two of them were against Philadelphia, and one against Miami, where everybody had a rough game pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
The D-backs just got past.
Well, I remember that play because he had to cover Waddle. Yeah, it was
they could
dumb.
not handle Waddle and freaking Cheetah. Those guys were just way too damn fast, and everybody was freaked out. Jair also gave up a lot of yards in that game. But so 13 games where it was 40 yards or less of the 17. That's pretty consistent. Also, he had a missed tackle rate. He had 85 tackles. Remember how tackling is part of the job. 85 tackles for a corner, pretty damn impressive. And all but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So that would be 12 of the 17 games. He had a 0% missed tackle rate.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
That's part of playing corner too, tackling.
Yeah, yeah. And he was in there like 13 passes defended, 4 interceptions. Like those aren't numbers to really think are bad. Those are pretty good numbers. And that's some of the advanced statistics. And I just wanted to, we'll go back and share one thing, but it got me thinking, like, who are the top corners in the league? Because we hear about Jair and his statistics and ... Let's look at some of the other top corners in the league here real quick, because I just thought, well, who were the all pros? Like, I'm not going to go Pro Bowl because Pro Bowl is like, that can be a little sketchy to kind of look at that. But who were the all pros?
Are you sharing something, or are you just telling us?
I'm about to. So Sauce Gardner was an all-pro, right? He was all-pro. Rookie, all-pro. Well, Sauce Gardner for the season, okay, he had 2 picks, 2 interceptions. That's 2 less than Rasul. He did have 20 passes defended, which is great, and a lot.
Yeah, but he was also should have been called for pass interference about 37 times. But he grabbed and
held. Yeah, he grabbed and held all the time. 75 tackles, so 10 tackles less, and he played about 200 more snaps than Rasul did. And on top of that, the other piece here to look at for him was, so he played 1,115 snaps. Man, they just played a lot of defense last year. Poor Jets. Packers, remember, Rasul only had 914 snaps on the season. But if you look at the advanced statistics here, I'll scroll down real quick, because these are kind of fun to look at, advanced game logs. So if you look at his kind of yards, he had some low numbers in here, real low numbers. And yeah, 180-yard game he gave up, but pretty low numbers. But it's pretty comparable, right? It's pretty comparable. And then the targets as well. He was targeted 86 times. So that's comparable also. Rasul was 84 targets last year. So numbers are comparable overall. He had less interceptions. He gave up a few less yards, maybe 100 less yards, 90 less yards, something like that. He did only give 1 touchdown, which is great. I get it. And he had a pretty good missed tackle rate overall, 75 tackles. But pretty comparable numbers, and he was clear-cut, all-pro, first-team all-pro, defensive rookie of the year, all this sort of good stuff. Okay. Jair wasn't even close to those numbers, let's be real, except he had the 5 picks. And then there was another guy who was similar. And what I was looking at when I started looking at these advanced statistics was that Rasul is right in the ballpark of these guys who were first team all-pro, second team all-pro. So my estimation is that if everyone's hyping up Jair and think he's the greatest thing in the world, Rasul, based on the numbers and based on the play and based on the opportunities, where he had similar targets to Sauce Gardner, big play Slay was actually less than him, passes defended and interceptions and all kinds of stuff. Some of these other top corners.
Really? Because he played Kirk Cousins and had like 2 picks in one game.
Yeah, I know. The point is, I would say the Packers have. They should be pretty excited about the corners they have, like both of them, and not just. I don't know why Jair's getting all the hype, but Rasul is awesome, and he. I don't know. I don't understand why it's all. I think what should be being talked about, and not like, oh, once Stokes gets back, we're going to be really great, like Jair said, is that right now they have a great tandem. They probably have the best cornerback duo in the league, and they just have it flipped on who's the better one of the two, but they're both very good. And the Packers have that on the same team. Like, I don't see any other team cornerback tandem that's better than theirs.
And they got Keyshawn Nixon coming in on nickel.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want people to talk about that. I don't want so much attention to be on Jair. I want people to talk about the group, what they have. Could be awesome.
During his 14-minute interview the other day,
Okay.
they asked Jair, they said something to him about Rasul.
Yeah.
And something about did he take any information, did he learn anything from Rasul?
Well, hopefully.
Because Jair's, because they talked about Jair's interceptions going way up to 5, where prior to that, he had only 5 in his entire career.
Yeah.
And Jair did give credit to Rasul. He's like, yeah, I took some stuff from him. It was great. But you know what? He took some stuff from me too. I mean, because I'm the greatest quarterback in the league. I mean, he wanted to take stuff from me too. I don't know what he took. Probably nothing. But anyways, but he did give Rasul credit, but it was begrudgingly. But he did say that he did take stuff from Rasul, and it did help him. And that's probably helped him get some interceptions in the way. But
I just want to put this in perspective for people real quick. In less than 2 seasons, 1,594 snaps, right down here. 1,594 snaps. Okay. That's only about 500 more snaps than Sauce Gardner played all of last season. Rasul Douglas, as a Green Bay Packer, has 9 interceptions, 2 touchdowns scored, 26 passes defended, 2 forced fumbled. He has 1 fumble because he pitched the ball back. He has stopped doing that on interception returns. He has a sack, 142 tackles, and 5 tackles for a loss.
yeah, that's good. He's the man.
I mean, it's
Dude, I have his jersey. You're
not,
you're preaching to the choir here, bro.
It's not just good. That's insane. Like the 2021 and 2022 seasons of Rasul Douglas. The reality is this. The 2021 and 2022 seasons of Rasul Douglas, no one in the league has matched. He is the best cornerback in the league during the last 2 seasons. But nobody talks about it, and everybody thinks Jair is so great. And it's maddening. It's mind-blowing to me. Compare anyone else's 2021-22 to that. They can't compare. They cannot. Packer fans, wake up. It's not all about 23. It's about 29, for crying out loud. 23 is fine. He's good. Not as good as everyone thinks he is. He's not as good as he thinks he is. But if he steps up and plays more to his contract this year, I will be happy. I will be the first to give him credit. 100%. But please understand that Rasul Douglas is the best corner on this team. And since he's been a Packer, he's been nothing short of amazing. Okay. Actually, I want to go back and look at Charles Woodson's first 2 years as a Packer and compare him to Rasul Douglas's first 2 years as a Packer.
Okay, calm down.
I'm going to look at it.
I got a question for you.
It pisses me off, but it makes me okay.
Who do you think is higher up in the NFL's top 100?
Oh my God.
Kirko Chains. This is for Jago Sev. Kirko Chains or Aaron Rodgers? Which one's higher up on the top 100?
It's Kirko.
Yeah, it's Kirk O'Chains.
Because wasn't Rogers down like 61?
No, Rogers was 51. Kirk O'Chains is 42, so he's 9 better. Now, here's the other thing.
His stats were like way better, but okay.
Are you ready for this? Jair Alexander was number 26 in the top 100 NFL countdown or whatever the hell it is.
Should never have
Do
been
you
higher
know
than
who
that.
was one behind him at number 27?
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas did not make the list because people are dumb.
What the Okay.
So who do you think was number 27? I'll give you a hint. He has a strange history with Packer fans, but he's not a Packer.
Strange history. I did not look at this list at all.
He could have, should have been a Packer.
Harrison Smith? No, he's too old.
No,
Not
he's
that
at like
good.
90 something. He's up in the
Yeah,
90s.
he's way down there.
I'll give you another hint. He should probably be in the top 10, not at 27, but for some unknown reason, he's at 27. I'll give you another hint. He's like defensive player of the year, like every year, the last couple of years almost.
Oh, J.J. Watt?
No.
I mean, T.J. Watt?
TJ Watt was 27 and Jair's 26.
What the? Come on.
TJ Watt is 10 times the player as Jair Alexander is. Yet Jair is one higher than he is on the top
It's
100.
It's just.
That just tells you the top 100 is dumb.
It's just.
Also, Austin Eckler is 21
Apparently.
on the top 100. Austin Eckler.
Apparently, a lot of people really like Jair. A lot of Packer fans are big fans of Jair. That's great.
No, that's great.
I'm not sure why, but it's cool.
But he's not better than TJ freaking Watt.
No.
No freaking way in
And
hell.
he's certainly not more impactful than a lot of guys. It's just, I don't know. I just want, I went and I looked at some of those things because I wanted to compare like some of the other stuff game by game. And then I also just wanted to look at that. What has Rasul Douglas done in his time in Green Bay? How many opportunities has he had? And how does that compare? And it's not comparable. There are dudes that played 2 full seasons the last 2 years and aren't even close to the production. So is this game about hype and about doing the gritty after you rough up some chump receiver, or is it about production and results? I don't know. I give credit to the results and the production over the goddamn hype. I'm sorry. That's just me. But you hype whatever the hell you want and love Jair all you want. And Jason Wiegand, your daughter, loves Jair, so you don't want to watch her podcast anymore. I don't give a rip. That's fine. He's fine. He's pretty good. I hope he plays like a rock star this year, so he lives up to the hype. Understand that he's not even the best corner on the team. Just a heads up.
Can I just say something though? You talk about this every week, and
I do not every week.
And yes, you do. And I'm the biggest Rasul Douglas fan in the history of all time. And even I'm getting sick of you. Even I'm getting sick of you bringing it up all the time. So stop it.
I'm done now.
No, you're not. You're never done. You bring it up every week.
I'm done now. I dug a little deeper on some of that stuff.
You already did a whole episode with PowerPoint video displays and
when he
graphics and all kinds of stuff.
When he chose chocolate chip cookies over sugar cookies, clearly, then I had to dig a little deeper because I had to give him a little more credit.
Listen, all I know is this: when we go to Packer practice, we gotta find Rasul. I'll wear my jersey.
You better.
We gotta get him on the show and be like, dude,
snap.
There's 2 guys in particular. One who has been saying how great you are, has been putting video. Hey, I put video evidence.
Forever.
I've been putting video evidence together since he was his first game when he got to play, and I showed the video of him attacking and tackling and doing crazy moves and stuff before he was getting picks and stuff. You got to admit that. I've been on top of this from the start.
I know, because it was different. We'd never seen stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, we did. It was Charles Woodson.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah.
But we got to find Rasul and let him know, hey, there's 2 guys who know you're the man. It's just these 2 guys right here. Come on our show.
Right.
We'll talk about cookies, whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about it, Rasul. I don't even care because you are the man. Yeah,
he's a willing tackler and a really good tackler, David. By the way, 85 tackles last year, by the way. Heads up.
All right, I think we're good,
enough
man.
for
I
that.
think we had
Thanks for all your time. Thanks for
good time show.
exhausting that with us and Packers practice. And just give love. I don't know. Family night is going to be family night. It's a practice. It used to be cooler, It used to be more of a competitive thing.
Are you
Now
watching
it's-
Family Night? Are we gonna do a live Family Night like we did
No, we're
last
not
year?
gonna do live family. It's too boring now. It's just
What are you talking about? Last year was awesome because remember when
it's awesome.
Aaron Rodgers had to
Well,
keep
yeah, 'cause he
going
got
to
all
try to get
pissy.
those the corner in the end zone hit it in the
Yeah,
net,
get the net, and
and he couldn't do it, and they had to keep doing it, even though he could never do it. And then finally they just went to commercial because like, yeah, I guess he's just not gonna make any, so we got to go to commercial. Remember? And he had to keep doing it.
It's hilarious.
Family night, fireworks.
No, we're not gonna do it.
Give me
We'll let you
classic-
enjoy family night or not enjoy it, but you don't get to enjoy it because you won't see it.
No, I
right
don't
now
get to
on
see
the
it. That's
screen.
why I kind of wanted you to do it,
Oh,
and then you
you
could
wanted
send me the feed, and then I can watch it too.
All right, well maybe we'll do something. I don't know, whatever.
Nah, forget it.
Ah,
I might
forget it.
be going somewhere. I don't know.
Fine, go somewhere. Then I don't.
Well, the wife and the kid are gone this weekend, and I don't have to work, so
You go places all the time. How was your time in at Nichols?
It was
weird,
great.
or- It was great. Okay.
why would it be weird? No.
He put up with you?
Yeah, I got super hammered though on the second night.
What the hammered?
His girlfriend is like,
Did she like to play games? Did you play some games with her too, or what?
she didn't want to play that many.
She wanted to play games. She just wanted to drink hardcore.
Yeah. Nickel
Yeah.
made me a drink,
Right.
and it was like, it tasted good. And then
Wish
she
Nicole
made me
would
the
go on
same
the show
exact
and
drink.
again.
She made me the same
Holy
exact
phone.
drink, and I all I tasted was vodka.
Oh no, we're having problems. That means it's the end of the show. All right, David, be good. Anybody else hung out there, be good. Sorry the show's too long, and sorry I got a little distracted there when I was trying to look at that number. But you all know, if you watch the show, you know it's who's the man. All right, be good, stay good, and go Pack Go. Enjoy family night. Take care of yourselves, and don't worry about Jordan Love. He's gonna be just fine. Everybody, he's gonna be fine.